And so I did that, and it was fine. I mean, um, I just played for a couple hours that first time, and maybe the next time too. But over time, I was playing more and more, and felt myself slipping back into gaming addiction. I didn't feel like I wanted to go back to the meetings, uh, even though I needed help because I didn't want to stop yet. And And then at a certain point, it was like, well, if I'm already playing these games, why not play these other online games? What's the difference? And before I knew it, I was right back in the same mess after about 2 months, and feeling really down on myself and defeated. So I got back in touch with people again, saying, "All right, I'm back in a mess. I want it to stop. I can't do this anymore." And I think I went to a meeting or two, but I kept on gaming. So I stopped going to meetings because that was embarrassing. I thought to go to meetings when I'm still gaming, and then I'd stop, and then I'd start up again, and stop and start up again. And yeah, that last time I relapsed, I had a really hard time before I finally stopped for good. And it didn't happen until I took it seriously. I started going to a bunch of meetings. I told my AA sponsor, and I told another friend. I talked to another friend about what was going on, and really opened up and got honest about it. And I think that for some reason helped me turn a corner. And so I haven't gamed since then. But then later I was looking at the forums later on to get a sense of what that time frame was, and it turns out that was 7 months from the point that I got back in touch and said I wanted to stop, and the time that I actually stopped. With things like getting worse in my life during that time, with work, with other relationships, and isolating, and really beating up on myself physically with just the way I was living, not taking care of myself, not exercising, eating crap food, not sleeping nearly as much as I needed to. I do know that I don't want to do that again. I don't want to game again, have it grow again, and then decide I want to stop, and then not be able to stop for several months, and go through all that hell again. I don't want to go back to square one. I've done enough damage, suffered enough losses, you know, in relationships and financially, health wise, opportunity wise. Yeah, I don't want to go through that cycle again. So that's why these days I go to a fairly frequent number of meetings. I don't go every day, but I don't know how many I go to. Might be it's at least 3 a week. It might be 5 or 6 some weeks, and it's good for me. I mean, it's been 3 years now, and my life has filled up with other good things in a lot of different ways. I've done a lot of things that I always used to say that I wanted to do someday, but I kept procrastinating over and over and over again, putting it off into the future because I was so busy gaming. The past couple of years, learned an instrument, played with the band, uh, started learning a lot of wild edibles, did some like primitive skills projects with a couple friends. I've done a lot more reading, and I just really branched out with a lot of things that I've been meaning to do. And I have more friends in my life these days, and yeah, it feels good. I don't want to lose what I have. I'm especially grateful for the time that I spend with my son. I have a 5-year-old son. So over the last few years, when he's been, 2, 3, 4, 5, when we're together, I am mentally present. I am there and engaged, and it's great. I really appreciate it that my mind is not itching, like thinking, okay, when do I get a break from this so I can go get a few games in? Or, geez, maybe I can put him to bed early tonight so I can get into gaming earlier. Or my mind's not wandering off with some bad beat that I took in a game yesterday, or some like big success I had in a game, and not, my mind's not wandering over certain strategies I might use, which is how it used to be. I mean, gaming filled up not only like the hours of my life where I was actually gaming, but other hours too, where I was doing other things, but I just was not mentally present because my mind was still in the games. Yeah, I don't. How many hours a week does that all add up to? I don't know, but I'm grateful to have those hours back to be able to spend them with people that I care about, doing things that I care about, taking care of myself, and to feel good mentally, physically. Like I have a friend who's into biking, and I've gone on a few bike rides lately. I've been playing ultimate frisbee at least once a week. I have another friend that's been really getting into meditation lately, so I've been getting together with her, and we've been meditating once or twice a week together, which is something I find very helpful. Yeah, life's good, and I don't want it to go back to the way it was. For newer people that are coming around, I don't know what to say. Well, give this thing a shot. I mean, the only way that I found out like what I could get out of this was by giving it a good try for a while. By getting a sponsor and trying out sponsorship and making some headway with the steps. I don't know. I learned this lesson like early in recovery in AA. I found that some of the suggestions didn't make any sense to me, that they would help. Like I wanted to stop drinking. People were talking about prayer and meditation and being of service by like making coffee at meetings. And I was thinking, what the hell does that have to do with drinking? And then what happened was I tried those things out and found that they all helped me out a lot. Like, especially, I mean, making coffee. I was really surprised. I started making coffee for this group, and so I was showing up to every meeting early, getting to know the people that showed up early, feeling a part of the group instead of feeling like an outsider, like I did at the beginning. Um, and more people coming up to me, talking to me. I mean, I guess they sensed that I was serious about recovery, that I was being a part of the group and helping out, and I just got to make more friends that way in recovery, which was huge. It really helped me out a lot. I couldn't see that before I tried out that suggestion. I didn't. I thought people were lying when they said being a coffee maker would help me in my recovery. I thought they just wanted someone to make the coffee, and so they were saying that. But it turns out they were right. And so I just realized that for a lot of the suggestions that have helped out people, they share them in meetings. Sometimes it doesn't sound like it's going to make a difference. Like the same with prayer. I didn't think that would make a difference. I was brought up religious. I ditched that when I was 18. Didn't want anything to do with religion or prayer. And even though like later in my meditation practices, I did come to believe in a higher power that I believe in, that works for me. And I came to believe in the value of spiritual principles. Even though I believe those things, prayer still didn't make any sense to me. So I didn't try it for a long time. But one day I was desperate and I gave it a shot. It's had a remarkable effect in my life where I feel so much better when I have it as a part of my life, and I'm not doing as well when I don't. If you try, I'm not going to know if something works unless I try it. And if it seems to work, it's a good idea to keep doing it. If it seems like it doesn't work, it's probably a good idea to let it go. And for all I know, the reason prayer might help is that it's opening my mind to whatever it is I'm praying for. If I'm praying for greater health, maybe that's opening my mind to greater health. Maybe that's the only thing it has, the only way it has an effect on me. Or I don't know. For all I know, I might be making some sort of connection to the universe when I'm praying for certain things and allowing certain energy to come into my life. I don't know. It doesn't matter what the explanation is. Obviously, I can't come up with a good explanation for it. What matters is that it works, So, yeah, I highly recommend, if you hear people making suggestions in the meetings, give them a try. See if they work for you or not. And if they do work, keep doing them. And that's what's made a big difference for me. Thanks for listening.